To my knowledge, the only confirmed relationship we actually see Zuko in is with Mei, both in the Atla TV show and in the comics. There's Jin, who he goes on, maybe one date with? Maybe two. Either way, it's brief, it's situational, and it happens while he's in hiding, so it's definitely not a defining relationship. We know he has a daughter, Izumi, but we don't really know who her mother is. What's interesting though is there's this persistent ambiguity around Zuko's relationships. Clearly not an absence of relationships, but ambiguity. Now, I'm gonna make a comparison that might sound random, but stay with me. A lot of K-pop stars are contractually. Wow, I didn't think that I would have issue with that word. But yes, they're contractually restricted from dating, or at the very least, from publicly confirming relationships. And the driving factor of this is the maintenance of ambiguity of the love lives of the stars keeps them available to the audience. It allows fans to project, to imagine, to feel like the connection is theirs, right? Which I suppose probably works to intensify the already parasocial relationship that the fans have with these stars. I'm not saying Avatar intentionally did this with Zuko, but the effect is similar. Because when you compare Zuko to characters like Aang or Katara, whose romantic futures feel much more fixed, Zuko's romantic life feels much more open, less defined, definitely more projectable. And obviously with that comes a lot of people willing to fill in the gaps. And that also includes sexuality. You could make a similar argument for Sokka and Toph. Sokka has Suki, yes, but beyond that, there's no confirmed long-term outcome like marriage, for example. Sokka doesn't have any confirmed children. I mean, Aang's children don't even talk about having cousins, at least not from what I remember. Toph has children, but even there, the details are hazy, different fathers, we have limited context. So again, an absence of relationships. Sorry, no, that's not what I meant. Again, not an absence of relationships, but definitely a selective ambiguity. And Toph and Sokka are definitely fan favorites. They are definitely characters that feel, in a way, more for the audience than characters like Aang or Katara, whose arcs are more narratively closed. But I think Zuko is a different case entirely because he embodies a very specific archetype, right? He's the brooding, emotionally repressed, redemption arc, male lead, and that archetype has massive appeal. So Zuko isn't just popular, he's universally desirable, not just to women, not just to straight audiences, to everyone. So when you combine a character built on broad appeal with open-ended romantic ambiguity, it's really not that far-fetched that people read him as bisexual. And then there's the context he grew up in. We know from the Korra comics that Sozin outlawed same-sex relationships. So Zuko grows up in a culture that's probably explicitly hostile to queerness, a culture that also values rigid traditional masculinity, something arguably he was constantly told he failed to embody. So no, he wouldn't have had the language, the safety, or even the permission to explore that part of himself growing up. But post-war, after Ozai isn't a threat anymore, after the imperial empire of the Fire Nation is no more, it's not unreasonable to imagine that he would have more emotional and social space to explore any potential queer inclinations. And sure, you can say none of this proves that Zuko is bisexual, but that's kind of the point. Because the same ambiguity that allows people to confidently read him as straight also allows for the possibility that he isn't. So I think the real question becomes, why does one reading of Zuko feel far more acceptable and then the other one feels too much of a stretch?